What's up, guys? We got Jimmy Turtwig versus d0nut. DPP. It's kind of a meaningless game. The winners have already clinched. Tigers are pretty much out. I think it's 100% by now. Regardless of that, though, we're going to see two lead water types. Starmie is going to land a critical hit on Empoleon and bring it down to its sash, which is pretty much the item that you see most commonly on lead Empoleon. Whereas Grass Knot, unsurprisingly from the Empoleon, is going to do a nice 75% to the Starmie. So we're seeing some damage right off the bat. Okay. So that's something. I'd imagine that d0nut's probably just going to stay in, and Jimmy Turtwig's probably going to retreat here. Although Aquajet, yeah, okay, that doesn't surprise me one bit either. So Aquajet will leave it down to 14. We could see something like a Tar or a Dog or a Scarf Flagon follow up to try and just eliminate it from play. Now that will be beneficial for d0nut in a sense, as it will give him a kill. It will give him momentum despite it being even at 1 kill apiece. But at the same time, seeing as we saw Grass Knot and Aquajet, it's most likely a 4-attack lead Empoleon. So this Starmie being the likely spinner on d0nut's team, meaning that the rockers in the back for Jimmy Turtwig, could probably be indicative of quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to see a Dragonite here from Jimmy Turtwig. I'd imagine that unless it's Yachi Berry Dragon Dance, then it's going to be clicking extreme speed, and even then, might want to just eat the berry for something like a Scarf Rotom HP Ice or a Heatran Scarf HP Ice. I don't know. There are a number of ice moves that could potentially be used to take out this. But regardless of that, I think this would be pretty safe for d0nut to retreat into something like a Steel type, Tyranitar. However, he might just be a bit more conservative and let this go. We'll have to wait and see. His timer's at 270. Jimmy Turtwig's at 150. So Jimmy's definitely he's going to go to Starmie, which could perhaps be a bit indicative of some parts of his team. It seems to be doing 9. I mean, it's definitely Dragon Dance variant. So yeah, Spikes, Dragon Dance. No shocker there. I imagine we see a Fire Punch here, and it's going to do a bit over half, 51% on a Whirlwind out to a Jirachi. All right, another common Pokemon. It's going to reveal its leftovers. Both are going to reveal leftovers. So I doubt there's a Magnezone in the back for Jimmy Turtwig, but d0nut is not prepared for it if it were to be one with the Skarmory, and he's going to go to the Rotom on a Hidden Power, presumably Hidden Power Fire, given that it did neutral damage and it was aimed at the Skarmory. So 21%, but Rotom's going to reveal to be leftover, so given that makeup, it's probably a bulkier team from d0nut. So that means that Dragonite could be threatening in the late game. So he's going to want to preserve that Skarmory, which he did there, which is smart of him. Regardless of that, this Jirachi very well could be the Stealth Rocker. And I'd imagine Rotom has some combination of Willow. Oh, it's Calm Mind. Okay. Sub? I don't know about that, man. Psyche's just going to break the sub, yeah. And we're going to see a Willow was unfortunately miss on the Jirachi. This Jirachi could be quite threatening if there's not a Blissey or a Tyranitar in the back. Although it's probably Superachi, so in theory, Grass Knot could very likely threaten the Tyranitar as well. So hopefully there's a Blissey in the back for d0nut. Some other things that could potentially shut it down would be especially defensive Heatran, which could perhaps explain why he substituted, knowing that, okay, if it is something threatening like Calm Mind, then I could always just go to that afterwards. Anyway, the Will Was miss is quite unfortunate for the d0nut side, admittedly, but I'm not sure that Substitute was as catch-all play as d0nut might have initially thought it would be. But it did scout at the set. It's definitely Superachi. Calm Mind, Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, and I'd assume Grass Knot, but it could be Thunderbolt in the last slot. Jimmy's timer's down to 120, so he's thinking this through. Personally, I think there are two plays here. It would either be Calm Minding up once more or clicking Psychic, and he's going to Calm Mind up once more. Plus 2 Grass Knot shouldn't take out a Tyranitar, but it should do a lot. Payback is going to do 51%. Interesting to see Payback from Tyranitar. Don't see that every day. That's a nice chunk, I suppose. Now he's going to go to Flagon on a follow-up Grass Knot. That does 62. Okay. So he got out of the situation without taking a lot of damage, but the Jirachi is still quite healthy, so especially if he stays in a U-turn, that would be pretty much a free kill. But assuming that doesn't happen, and he either Earthquakes on switch or U-turn on switch, then this Jirachi could very well still be threatening later on, and he's going to prove to be just that. And now this Dragonite looks insanely threatening, as Extreme Speed should be able to take out the Flygon. Shit. Yeah, now, Skarmory, sure, it's going to be able to live a +1 Fire Punch, But it's gonna be quite low after the whirlwind. Maybe he roosts though, because roost should do 50 plus leftovers. This says under 50. Oh, it did 56. Oh, it's gonna get a burn on a roost. Oh no, that's quite unfortunate. So now he's gonna need a mineral and Dental Whirl. That sucks. So Fire Punch is gonna take that out. Yeah, sorry, just people being stupid in the chat. If you're saying that roost made no sense, but roosting once when it did 51 last turn makes perfect sense in my opinion. Like, if he Dragon Dances again, in theory, then +2 does less, and the first roost just to scale the damage. I mean, I don't see a problem. Like, what if it's doing under half consistently? Anyway, the Latias is going to come on in here, presumably to bait an Outrage. Alright, so he's going to go Latias, and then what he's going to do is he's going to throw away the Starmie to try and bait the Outrage, and then force a trade. Alright. If Jimmy's got balls, he clicks Dragon Dance again and the game ends, but I don't know if that's the case. I don't think he needs to do that, quite frankly. There's no way this is Scarf, though, given that the Flygon, Yeah, actually, Flygon might not be Scarf. He goes Tar to fodder that. Now, oh my god, it's over. What a play. What a play from Jimmy Turtwig. You knew. Really nice play from Jimmy. Wow. Oh shit, my TV. Don't mind that. This is Lumbear, the game's just over. Are we going to see Lom? No Lom. Pause for 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so no Lom. Oh, it is Lom. Just, that's fucking baited. I could game. Yeah, that's fucking PS animation bullfuckery order. So d0nut's going to drop to 6-2. And Jimmy Turtwig, I don't know what his record. I think 5-3. Don't quote me on that. Good game.